All right, hello everyone. Thank you for coming to the news conference today. We'll kind of give you the run of show real quick. Representative Kelly will make some opening remarks, followed by Secretary Turner, and I will moderate the Q&A after by calling on each outlet based on RSVP order. And with that, I'll turn it over to Representative Kelly.
Thank you, Matt. Matt's got married about 2 weeks ago, so he's still recovering from his honeymoon. But it's great to be with everybody. I got to tell you, being with Secretary Turner and watching what's taking place, we keep coming back to Erie when we talk about opportunity zones. This is the model for opportunity zones and the success of opportunity zones. When you look at what Erie did on its own with Erie downtown development, it's incredible. The effort that they put in and what they did. But then being with Secretary Turner, you talk about somebody who absolutely knows what it's like to be on the ground, to be there shoulder to shoulder, doing everything he can to help neighborhoods, help people, which is the whole purpose of this. This administration is incredible, and because it is so on the ground effective. They're actually with the people that they serve. So it's a great honor for me to introduce Secretary Turner. Secretary, it's always a pleasure to be with you. You are the embodiment of energy, sir. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you, Congressman Kelly, and thank you all who are gathered here today. You know, the city of Erie is a very special place. I was here 6 years ago with Dr. Ben Carson, who was then the Secretary of HUD, and we were meeting with the Erie Downtown Corporation and local leaders when this was just a concept, when the Opportunity Zone legislative policies had just come to pass. And now to see the work that has been done over the last 5 or 6 years is nothing short of fascinating. And we've had a tremendous time here together, convening with stakeholder groups from the private and public sector. And, you know, to see the community involvement here in Erie is very encouraging to me. One thing about opportunity zones is that they impact everyone in our country. Why do I say that? Because when you think about housing, when you think about poverty, when you think about new job creation, when you think about people living in new houses, the nicest place they've ever been in their life, that's what opportunity zones do. That's what they bring together. And I've had the fortunate opportunity to travel around our country from the first Trump administration to now, to over 70 cities in opportunity zone tours, and to see people coming together, stakeholders coming together, Republican, Democrat, black, white, all industries, coming to the table to identify problems inside of a city. And then before we leave that table to say, okay, what is the strategy? What's the strategy of long-term sustainability that we can come up with here together in opportunity zones to bring transformation to our community? To revitalize means to bring new life. And that's what you see here in Erie, especially here in downtown Erie. There's new life that's here. It's a thriving place now. And 6 years ago, they were talking about Erie had one of the poorest zip code in America. But yet the resiliency of the people and the community spirit of the people here has been amazing. And I saw it then, and I see it even now. Opportunity zones have lifted 1 million people out of poverty, $89 billion of investment inside of opportunity zones. Housing values inside of opportunity zones have risen while rents did not. New jobs have been created, new family formation. The foundations of families in America have been enhanced, and the trajectory has changed because of opportunity zones. I'm excited for what they've done. I'm excited for the continuation of opportunity zones. And indeed, Congressman, Erie has been a flagship for opportunity zones. And so I stand in amazement. I stand very proud as I sit here and stand before you today of what has been done, but also I believe there's great days ahead in Erie and around our country as it pertains to opportunity zones. So thank you for your time. We appreciate you.
Go ahead. You ready, Congressman? Should we go ahead and open up for Q&A based on the RSVP order for today's news conference? Lisa Adams, what do you do now?
Secretary, I understand you want to expand opportunity zones legislation. So can you share your vision for that, and maybe in light of some of the things you've heard from our community leaders here today about what's needed?
Absolutely. Well, you think about Erie, just Erie alone. Erie has a population, I understand, about 93,000 people. And there's been nearly $400 million of Opportunity Zone investment in Erie. So obviously, the Opportunity Zone policy and initiative is very impactful. And as I said in my opening remarks, I'm very proud to see what Opportunity Zones have done, not only here in Erie, but across the country. But I'm excited, and I have an excited anticipation of the continuation, because I believe that we've just gotten started when it comes to Opportunity Zones. Almost $90 billion of private money thus far invested, but I believe that we can far surpass that and make Opportunity Zones better, in particularly not just here in Erie, but also in places and cities around our country, both urban, tribal, and rural. And at HUD, that's who we serve: urban, tribal, and rural communities. And so I know Congressman Kelly, his colleagues in the House, Senator Tim Scott and his colleagues in the Senate are working very hard about the Opportunity Zone and the language in the bill. And I know that everyone's doing their very best to make sure that Opportunity Zones don't just remain the same, but they're even better going forward. And so I have a great anticipation, and maybe the Congressman will have a few words on that. But I do believe that we're just scratching the tip of the surface as it pertains to Opportunity Zone. But there's great days ahead for our country in these communities that we serve with Opportunity Zones.
You know, just to add what the Secretary said, you know, this is the template for Opportunity Zones. Erie Downtown Development, Erie Insurance, they started something way before Opportunity Zones came into effect. This is the template. And when we came here with Ways and Means last spring, the understanding for the Ways and Means Committee, because we took them out of Washington and brought them into the country, when they saw what Erie had done to itself and had done for itself, they weren't looking for anybody to help them. They were just looking for people to say, you know what, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for everybody. And we've improved the downtown, and we're going to continue to do it. The emphasis now is going to shift a lot toward the rural areas, because we didn't put enough into that to start off with. This second Opportunity Zone is going to be incredible for people and lift people all over the place. And I just think people talk to me about, all you guys talk about are taxes, taxes, taxes. Well, how about this? This isn't hardworking American taxpayer funding. This is private individuals investing in their communities for a better day for everybody. So we're really proud of that.
So are you talking about attracting manufacturing to rural areas or improving life in rural areas and housing?
Well, and I'll go, and then Congressman, obviously you can add to this. You know, with President Trump, his leadership and what he's been talking about a lot is bringing manufacturing back, you know, and bringing manufacturing jobs back to America. And I believe that Opportunity Zones give us the platform, if you will, to build more manufacturing facilities, to bring manufacturing jobs back, to open up the trades, to open up workforce housing. And we saw that in the first iteration of Opportunity Zones. But I do believe, along with the Congressman, that this will give the people of America an opportunity to thrive inside of these communities as it pertains to manufacturing, as it pertains to teaching new skills to a new population of people. You know, we have so much ingenuity, so much creativity and innovativeness in our country, and I believe this would give us the platform, if you will, to unleash the private sector as it pertains to those three areas.
Yeah, just to add to that, Lisa, and you understand this, everybody does. There's nothing more important than a job. We're talking about improving communities, but it's about jobs also. We're going to take communities that have been lying dormant for so long, and people are going to say, you know what, I will invest in that, I will invest in the future, and I'm going to talk to other people and say, you know what, we need you up, we need you working, we need you looking at every day as an opportunity, not just in this Opportunity Zone, but in this country. That's the one thing that's so exciting about this administration. Everything's upbeat, everything's about making America better, making America the America that we always dreamed of in the past, and we're going to be again in the future. But the opportunity, it's opportunity that people look for. And this is going to create job after job after job, which will create revenue that lift our communities out of the poverty that we're in. And now they can look to a brighter future in a day where the sun's coming up and not going down.
Hi, out of the many cities that you've toured, what's unique about Erie keeping us as the leader of this initiative?
Great question. You know, I talked about community. And whenever you talk to the people of Erie, there's always a spirit of team, not individualism. I saw that when I came here the first time, and I see it even more now. we just had a roundtable discussion. And really the overarching theme was community. It was, I could not have done this had it not been for these individuals at the table with me. My background is team. You know, having played professional sports, even in Pee Wee sports, you know, it's about team. Having been in ministry and business, and now as a steward over HUD, it's about building a great team. And that's what I believe that makes Erie unique. And I'm so glad you asked that, because the people of America, I believe, would be very happy to see when you come together as a community, when you bring all the ideas together as a community and not as individuals, when you identify the problem together, but you don't leave the table until you come up with a long-term solution together, that is what makes Erie unique. And that's the strength, I believe, of this community. Even outside of opportunity zones, the resiliency of the people in this community is something to see, that I believe that the people of this great country will be very encouraged by. And so thank you for asking that, but it's the community aspect and the team aspect that I believe has made it strong.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Joe McCallum, Popular Radio.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Let's pivot to affordable housing.
Okay.
And I was wondering what the current thinking and the current ideas surrounding not necessarily low-income housing, but that medium-income workforce housing.
Yeah.
Here in Erie and in other places, especially urban places, it's difficult to impossible for young families to get into that first house. Is there thinking at HUD to be able to create housing that would be affordable at those median incomes like we have here in Erie County?
Absolutely. And you know, the first thing, we have to get our fiscal house in order. We have to bring the costs down so we can bring the supply up. And we're doing that. We've been taking inventory at HUD, as all of you know, and you've heard me say many times. We're looking at the programs at HUD. Do they help us to build and create more affordable, sustainable, safe housing, or do they not? And so we're taking inventory from a federal side, but I'm also encouraging local leaders and state leaders to take inventory of your policies, to get rid of all the bureaucratic red tape, to take down burdensome regulations that hinder and cripple private development. And I say that in all seriousness, in that we all need to take inventory from a federal, from a state, and from a local level. A lot of times what I've seen when I travel around the country is localities are saying, okay, what are you going to do from HUD? And my question first is, what are you going to do from a local level to make sure that you're easing regulations, to make sure you're taking down burdensome red tape for your people that are building, that are developing, the property owners, so that they can unleash building workforce housing, so that they can build more affordable housing. The federal government is not the answer. The federal government is a great convener. The federal government is a great partner. But really the work is local and it's private. Second point, building public-private partnerships will help us to create more affordable and workforce housing. And I know this kind of seems kind of out of the realm of where we are in Erie, but Secretary Burgum and I signed the MOU, a joint task force to use underutilized federal lands to build more affordable housing. And so from a HUD standpoint, from the inventory, taking down regulations, signing the MOU with Secretary Burgum, and working with state and local leaders to ease the regulatory environment, I think will help us to unleash building affordable housing, bringing the supply up, but also taking that cost down. And then thirdly, opportunity zones is kind of the overarching theme that help us to build these houses.
Yeah, you know what, I just want to, just for a moment, because the Secretary hit on everything. So we look what's happened in America, and the culture I grew up in is gone. The most important thing for any town, any city, any state, any country is a strong nuclear family. A husband and a wife, a mother and a father raising their children. And there's nothing more important than a child to wake up in his or her home knowing they can go off to school and come back to his or her home again at night and be around moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, aunts and uncles. That's what we have to restore in America. It was always about the strength of the nuclear family. The strength of the nuclear family is the strength of the community, the strength of the state, and the strength of the country. So when I'm around the Secretary and know what he's been through and what he's done, it's about building a strong, strong team. In a team that doesn't love winning, they hate losing. And we've lost too much. We've got to get back on the winning track. So It's really a pleasure to be with you, sir. Thank you so much. You're the guy.
Thank you.
Very good. Thanks, everyone. That'll conclude today's news conference. Appreciate you all coming.
Okay, thank you.